Hello everyone, and welcome back to our inventory system series in Godot 4. In this part, we'll add the functionality of our player to be able to use items when they click on the Use button in our inventory slot. I'll also show you how to increase your inventory size dynamically. So let's open up our player script and create a new function which will apply effects based on the items used. So remember, effects are the actual actions that we want the items to be able to do. So if we consume an apple, we want to increase our health, or if we pick up a quest item and it has an effect of quest, and we'll have a match case that says, hey, this is what to do with the quest item, etc. For this function, we're going to be passing the item as a parameter because we want to access the effect of that item that we're trying to consume or use. Now, we'll use a match statement to check the item's effect and apply the corresponding changes. So like I said, for example, if the item's effect is stamina, it will increase the player's speed. If it has no effect to it, we won't do anything. We'll simply just print that there is no effect for this item by default. So if you have, say, a quest item or something, or anything else that you want to do with this item except just consume it, then you will add what to do here. You can also call a function in this match case statement to say, hey, if this is the item and this is the effect of it, execute this function. So you can do a lot more with this than I'm doing. I'm just going to show you how to consume an item and increase our speed. Now, we need to go back to our UI slot scene and attach the Use button's press signal to our script. We'll first want to hide the usage panel if this button is pressed. Then, we'll have to check if both the item and the player is valid. Also, I forgot to add that we are checking if our item is valid and if our player is valid, but we also need to see if our item even has an effect, because if it doesn't have an effect, we don't want to remove it from the inventory or use it because it can't be used. If both are valid, then we will apply the effect of that item by calling our function from our player script. We'll also remove the item from the inventory. If neither of these parameters or conditionals are valid, then we will notify the game that the player could not be found. Now in your main scene, make sure you instance at least 2 items, one that doesn't have an effect and one that does have an effect called stamina or whatever you had in your match case statement. Add them to your inventory and try to use both of them. You should see that if you take a valid item with an effect of stamina, then your speed should be increased. But if you try and use an item that doesn't have a valid effect or any effect at all, then it shouldn't be used and it shouldn't be removed from the scene tree. Obviously, in a real world game, you won't just print out that your speed has increased. You'll show this in your HUD. This is just an example. I'm not focusing on HUD creation here, so if you have a HUD, make sure you incorporate it. Next, we need to add the effect to increase our inventory size. For this, we'll need to update our increase inventory size function that we created way back to take a number parameter, which will represent how many slots we want to add to the inventory if we pick up an item that can increase our inventory. We'll then add this parameter value to the size of our inventory. Then, back in our player script, we can add this effect. I'm going to increase my slot size by 5 if the player picks up an item with a slot boost effect. Now back in our main scene, let's instance a new item with a type or effect of slot boost. Now if we run our scene and we pick up this newly created item, we should be able to use it, and if we use it, our inventory size should increase. And that is it for this part. You can expand on this effect system by adding effects for quest or armor or other inventory types that need to execute certain logics. What matters now is that you have a basic dynamic inventory, but we are not done yet as we still have to do one more thing, which is set up our item spawning. We'll do that in the next video, but that is all for now, and I hope to see you in the next part.